Good Thursday afternoon to you out there in El Paso and beyond. It is Thursday, November the 12th, 2020. And I've got the real estate market report for you for the month ending October 31st, 2020. And I'll be right back with those numbers and let you know, is COVID still having an effect? Be right back. All right, so I'm back, and is COVID still having an effect on us here in El Paso? Well, in some ways, I guess in all ways, it's having an effect. Our county judge, Judge Samaniego, has extended the shelter-in-place order through December the 1st for non-essential businesses. Now, I'm at the office today because real estate sales is considered an essential business, and most of my agents are out of the office, and my staff, we're working here as well. Social distancing while we're here, mind you. But the sad thing is that when you drive around El Paso, I see more and more available signs on commercial space. I can't even buy a pair of slacks in town. We had Men's Warehouse, they've closed. Joseph A. Bank, they've closed. Dillard's is still open right now. We can go online and purchase things, but a lot of the retailers are closing, locking the doors, getting their inventory out, and moving on. And we'll get to our unemployment rate as I've added that to our real estate market report. But it's sad to see that our market, what was a thriving city 6 months ago, has flipped. 7 months ago, it's flipped, and we are now right on the cusp of a recession, if not fully into one, and it's probably going to get even worse. But the real estate market's doing fantastic, and that's the weird thing, is that when you see these numbers here in a minute, it is just unbelievable what's going on in our real estate market when there's so many people that are unfortunately losing their jobs, getting laid off, hours cut, and things like that. And our real estate market is just booming because of the low interest rates. So let's get into the report before I just continue to ramble on about these things. So again, we're looking at numbers that are for closed out in October 31st, 2020. Now, we always start off with our resale market report. We look at our active inventory, and as of today, we had 804. You step over just a little bit so you can see that better. 804 active listings in the multiple listing service. That is a very, very low number. And then I've added a number to this month, and it's pending contracts. And in our multiple listing service right now, we have 1,128 pending contracts. Those should be closing in the next 60 days. So we've still got great volume ahead of us into November and December. The average price of the properties that are on the market today, $288,520, huge number for El Paso. And then we are on the market for an average of 55 days. So that means that pretty much those that are priced right, you're going to get a contract within a couple of days. And that's priced right for the condition that you're in. Not everything is priced to the condition that it's in, but if you're priced right to the condition that you're in, you're probably going to sell and sell quickly. Back in the month of October, we saw 632 homes sell through our Greater El Paso Association of Realtors multiple listing service, and they had an average price of $206,726. That's a really big number. And what did you get for that? Well, this is the biggest number that I've seen yet, and I've been doing real estate here in El Paso for a little over 19 and a half years. I've never seen a number like this. You would get on average, 1,930 square foot home, and on average, you would pay $107.11 a square foot. Now, get this, just 7 months ago, you were paying about $95 a square foot. So you've had a 10% increase in about 6 months on the price per square foot average for what people are paying. And that, my friends, is due to COVID because of the interest rate going down and the sales going up. This is basic economics, supply and demand. The supply of money got cheaper, the demand for houses became more, and the inventory dwindled as fewer people put their homes on the market and more people demanded that they wanted to improve their living conditions since they were going to be working at home. 107.11 a square foot for a resale home in El Paso. We've never seen numbers like that before. It's huge. We were seeing the builder numbers like that just a year ago, but now for the resale market to be catching up to the builders is absolutely amazing. Now, in the past 12 months, September, just to give you a comparison. September we had closed 680 homes, so we are down a little bit on the volume, and the homes sold at an average price of $201,127 in September. So our price went up, but our volume went down. Over the last 12 months, we've seen 6,478 homes sell through our Greater El Paso Association of Realtors Multiple Listing Service. And on average for those 12 months, they sold at $189,746. So you can see where the increase is. I mean, we're talking almost $20,000 increase in a 1 year period of time. That's almost a 10% increase for the total year. In fact, it is over a 10% increase in 1 year, and a majority of that's due to the COVID virus because of the interest rates being so low, and that's what the government is trying to do through the Fed. Keep interest rates low so that we can keep some of the economy moving, and that's exactly what it's designed to do. Back to the report. Volume down, price up. That's where we stand on it. And then on our months of inventory, we're averaging about 540 homes a month, and that gives us a 1.49 months of inventory on the market, and that's pretty close to what we're looking at because you're looking at 55 days on market, month and a half, 45 days, 50, somewhere in there. Some of them are going to go over, some of them are going to be less than, but that's not very much when you're talking about the availability of housing here in El Paso. Now let's move on to our new homes report and the available homes through the multiple listing service, 956. Now I used to say that you could take that number and cut it in half, and that would be the number of homes that you could probably move into in the next 30 days. I revised that last month and I said cut it down by 3/4, and I bet you it's even less than that right now because the builders are just running out of inventory, and anything that doesn't have a contract on it that's near completion stage, I bet there's not anything out there at all. I mean, we're talking about the builders are having a difficult time keeping up with the volume that they've got, keeping labor in the field. Materials are becoming more and more in short supply. Lumber prices are going up. It's just amazing what's going on in our new homes market. Now, pending contracts in new homes, we've got 1,209 pending contracts. I didn't look at the dates to see how far out it is for the completion of these homes, but I know for the builder that I represent, in that one product line that they have, we're talking about possibly delivering a product in July, maybe August of next year. That's how much lead time it's taken because of the COVID virus. Now, the properties that are on the market, average list price, $236,875. And they've been on the market for an average of 142 days. And again, you're cutting that number in half, 3/4 at least, just so that you can get a decent number on there. But the builders aren't having any challenge selling the homes right now that they've got under contract. Their challenge is going to be keeping those contracts as they've got the escalation clauses in their contracts to make up for the increase in prices of materials. Now that's coming down the line. We'll see more of that as we turn the corner into 2021. If you got questions about it, call me. I'll talk you through it and help you understand what that means to you as a consumer. We saw 253 new homes sell through the Greater El Paso Association of Realtors in the month of October. They had a selling price of $217,668. Again, that gap between the new homes and the resale homes is shrinking. We're only talking $10,000 now. And what did that get you? Well, $115 a square foot, 1,878 square feet on average. So that gap is narrowing as the inventory continues to shrink. Back in the month of September, 253 homes that had sold there. So unchanged on that number. The average price was $218,589, and the price went down just a little bit. Over the last 12 months, we've seen 2,767 homes sell through the MLS. That's a huge number for us. It's the biggest number we've ever recorded for new homes here in El Paso, and there's probably another 10% that I suspect closed outside of the MLS because not everything goes in there. The average price for the year, $215,660. So their numbers are still staying relatively the same, at least for now, because many of those contracts that closed in October might have been written back 6 months ago, and they had that price locked in before the escalation of prices due to the shortage of materials. So overall, we saw no change on the volume, but we did see the price come down just a little bit versus the September numbers. On average, we're seeing 231 homes per month sell through the MLS, and that gives us a 4.14 month of inventory. And again, if you take that by 3 quarters, that's putting us down to somewhere about a month, month and a quarter, maybe a month and a half of really readily available inventory for our builders to sell. Number that I've added to our report this month, unemployment. Why did I do that? Well, employment drives everything in sales. It drives the retail sales, it drives the restaurants, it drives the homes, it drives the cars, it drives everything. In the month of August, so we're always lag on unemployment. We can't get you a current number for today or for last month, that being October, but for the months that we had, September, 8.7% unemployment. Now that's a 19% increase over the month of August. We were at 7.3% unemployment in August, and then the numbers went back up. That's very concerning, especially when we've got this shelter-in-place order from Judge Samaniego, where he's telling all non-essential businesses, lock the doors, don't come in, don't sell your goods and services, don't trust the public to protect themselves. Now, I'm on a soapbox here. I'm on a soapbox because we're adults. We should be able to take care of ourselves. We should be able to protect ourselves from this virus out there. And whether we do or not, our economy is suffering. I told you this back in March, that the challenge that we were going to have when we've got these shutdown orders is that the money's going to stop flowing. And when the money stops flowing, then we're going to have some big problems. So back in March and April, I told you about Disney World shutting down. All of the theme parks, the cruise ships, the airlines were reduced to their capacity. Now we're seeing the effects of this where it's hitting local, and so many jobs, we got to a point where we were getting back to work, and now we've gone to the opposite direction. We've had a 19% increase in our unemployment. The money has stopped flowing. What's going to happen in the next couple of months is that we're going to see more and more foreclosures come along. We've been on a moratorium for foreclosures for months now. Now, as we turn the corner into 2021 and the foreclosure moratorium has expired, we're going to see a flood of foreclosures into the market, and once those hit, then the supply side is going to go way up and our prices are going to recede. If you're a resale seller, hear what I'm saying. If you can sell your home right now, get it sold and get it done, because in the first quarter of 2021 and the second quarter of 2021, we are likely to see an increase in the number of foreclosures, which is going to increase the competition. And let me tell you, those banks, they don't care about the personal history of anybody in that home. They care about their bottom line, and they will put those properties out there at the current market value to get it sold in 30 to 60 days, period, end of story, because it's just an asset to them. They don't have the emotional attachment to it or the fact that they need to go buy something in San Antonio or somewhere else. All they want to do is unload that property, and that's going to put pressure on you, the resale seller, in order to get your property properly priced for the market at hand. And if our unemployment numbers continue to rise throughout November and December, think about this for a second. we're under a shelter-in-place order, and Black Friday is coming up in 2 weeks. And you're not going to be able to go out and shop at your favorite Black Friday stores the way that you did in the past. Online shopping, sure, you can still do that kind of stuff, but you're probably going to spend less online because you're going to think about it more, and there's not going to be the rush of adrenaline that's going on. Now, yeah, you can tell I'm on a soapbox here because I want to see our economy come back so that all of us can prosper. And that's the big thing. I told you this back in March and April, that when the money stops flowing, that's when we've really got to look at what's going on and see how we can improve it. We've got to get our people back to work. We've got to get our retail stores back open, our restaurants back open, our nail salons, our hair salons, all of these services that we've got out there. And we here in El Paso have been a service sector economy for a long, long time. It's changing, albeit slowly, but it is changing. But we've got to get these people back to work. Because this number right here, 2.5% interest rate on a 30-year mortgage, this can't last forever. The banks will stop loaning money because they're not going to make enough money off of it to keep the bills paid. And if they can't make enough money on it, they're going to shut their doors. And that's the way the economy works. Now, I know that I'm sounding very negative here at the end. I don't mean to be negative, but that's just the way it is. We're talking about basic economics. People lose their jobs, they can't buy your goods and services. Let's get people back to work. Let's be safe as much as we can. Let's get this virus behind us, but let's be adults about it. Let's protect ourselves. Let's protect everybody else, but let's don't kill the economy while we're doing it. Now, I'm going to step down off my soapbox, let you know that I'm happy to serve you any way that I can. And I'll do it with a positive attitude because I believe that if we work together, we can come up with the solution to all of this, and we can come through this, and we can come through it in shining colors. And the city of El Paso will be a vibrant city once again because we work together in order to get our businesses reopened, our restaurants reopened, and get our people back to work where they want to be. Because I believe that people want to contribute, and they do it best when they're gainfully employed and they're being able to give the goods and services that they can. If you've got questions about how I can serve you or my report, or you just want to call me and tell me I'm a complete idiot for what I'm saying here, my number, 915-588-1850, or you can shoot me an email, patrick@patricktuttle.com, and I'd be happy to visit with you about how we can be of service to you, how we can help you through what's coming in the future, how we can guide you through that. And I'm just here to serve you any way that I can. So thanks for watching. God bless you, and make it a great day. Bye-bye.